Welcome to Hiking 101. This chapter we're going to talk about stoves, pots, and some backpacking food. So let's get right into it. During your research, you're going to come into contact with a few different types of stoves. The first type of stove, and the most prominent type of stove, is what's called a canister stove. Canister stove is basically what it says. It's a canister that has highly flammable liquid, isobutane propane for this one. There's white gas and stuff like that. It's going to come in usually two parts. First part would be the canister itself. Second part would be the stove. This is a MSR pocket rocket. You attach it to the canister. Open up the prongs, turn it on, light it, and you're ready to go. This is going to be your heaviest option as far as stoves are concerned. But the pros to this are it'll bring whatever you're cooking to a boil faster than the other options. Also, this is more geared toward if you're going to have a group of people, you would want to go canister. The con would be obviously the packability, the weight, and you don't really know how much fuel you have left. So chances are you're probably, after a backpacking trip, you're probably going to be accumulating a bunch of these or tossing them out after each trip. So it's kind of a little bit of a waste. The next type of stove that you're going to come in contact would be what's called an alcohol stove. This one is an enclosed type of alcohol stove where it uses compression of the denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol or heat can be found in your hardware store. Look in the paint section for denatured alcohol. First time I heard of denatured alcohol, I didn't know where to look, and it took me a while to find it. So you heard it from me. In your paint section in Lowe's, Home Depot, Sears Hardware, whatever local hardware store you have, that's where you're going to find denatured alcohol. Relatively cheap. What this is main goal is weight savings. The second thing is you, with these alcohol stoves, you don't have the ability to simmer. You also don't want to be cooking anything but freeze-dried or dehydrated food with these types of stoves. The drawback with this particular type of stove, and there's an open designs type where it has jets on the side, is you really don't know how much fuel you need in the beginning, and the weather also dictates how much fuel you need. The hotter the weather, the less fuel you're probably going to need. The windier the day, the more fuel you're going to need. So the other thing, you're probably going to waste some fuel with this particular design. There's actually another design out there I want to talk about. A guy by Tinney, his company is called Mini Bull Design, a cottage industry. He came up with what's called a compact alcohol, CAB, a cab stove, compact alcohol burner. Sorry, had a moment of retardedness. What it is, it's a remote feed system. You have your alcohol in your bottle, you squeeze it into the stove, it fills up the little reservoir, comes in contact with the carbon fiber wick, and each squeeze is about 5 minutes worth of burn time. When you're done, after your water is boiled, you turn it right side up and you squeeze it again. It injects air into the cab stove, and then the pressure pushes the excess alcohol back into the bottle. So it's one way to conserve some alcohol. The other pro is with any alcohol stove is you know how much alcohol you have with you at all times. So if you're running low, you know that you gotta either go buy more alcohol or try not to use as much fuel in the next burn time. So those basically are your three types of stoves. Canister is going to weigh the most. This is going to weigh the least, and this is kind of in the middle, but it's not much of a weight penalty that is concerned. The new versions of his cabs, this is the Bongo, are a little more extravagant, have a wider base. To me, I think this was perfect the way it was, But, you know, he's the creator. He can do what the hell he wants.